Hey, what's going on, everybody? It is Vinny from vdubproductions. We welcome you back to another episode of my Sacramento State Dynasty here on YouTube. We are now in the home opener for the Hornets here. It's a week one of the game against the Air Force Falcons that replaced the FCS team with Air Force as a team to play for our home opener because they don't have the real FCS teams. But if you do enjoy what you see, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and hit the bell icon to receive notifications when these videos do come out, and it's time to introduce the team. We look at the player spotlight, the highlight reel: 97 yards and one reception for one touchdown for Matthew Coleman, and that was a game-winning touchdown for the Hornets, 63 yards out here. First play from scrimmage for the Hornets here on their own 28-yard line. They take over, and they're going to hand it off over to Curtis, and he's only going to get 2 yards there. Very next play, 2nd and 8 on their own 30-yard line. Shotgun formation for the Hornets, and they're going to hand it off to Jamar Curtis again, only for 3 yards. And that is a 2nd and 5 now. They want to try to avoid the 3 and out here. Conklin in shotgun formation takes the snap. He'll throw the pass off. That's going to be complete to Jason Moses for 8 yards, and that's a first down for the Hornets. Very next play on 1st and 10. They're still inside their own territory, and Conklin, once again, he's going to throw it, and that's going to be completed once again to Jason Moses, and they are now in Air Force territory here. 3 plays later on 3rd and 9. They're going to try to avoid punting here. Conklin will take the snap. He'll get the throw off. That's going to be completed, and that's going to be Jordan Williams for 15 yards, and they're now inside the 25. 1st and 10. Conklin going to go back, and he'll eat the dirt here for a loss of 8. Very next play, 2nd and 18 for the Hornets on the 31 of the Falcons here. Conklin takes the snap. He'll throw. It's going to be intercepted. However, there is a flag on the play. And who's going to get called for the interception? And that's going to be pass interference. That'll be defensive pass interference against Roger Jones Jr. That will negate the interception here. Very next play, 1st and 10 on the 17. And they're going to hand it off to Bryant Collins, the second tailback there. And that's going to go for 9 yards. 2nd and 1 for the Hornets. You see Conklin in shotgun formation. He's going to go for the read option, but he's going to get stuffed there for a loss of 5 here. 3rd and 6. Conklin over to throw, and that's going to be incomplete, and the Hornets will have to settle for a field goal. And that field goal by Josiah Stovall for 30 yards out is good, and the Hornets with a 3-0 lead. Now the Falcons will have the ball for the first time, trailing by 3, as we have Liam Sarka. He'll go for 6 yards on that first down run. 2nd and 4 now for the Falcons here. And it's going to be the quarterback keeper once again, but Sarka's going to get big room. He's going to cross nearly midfield here, and that's going to be another first down for the Falcons. The very next play on 1st and 10. And Sarka's going to keep it again, but he's going to get no yards there. Now make it 2nd and 10, still at midfield. And this time, Air Force, they're going to pass it, and that's going to be completed, and that's Gage Ledoux for 7 yards. Sets up 3rd and 3 for the Falcons here, looking to try to avoid having to punt the ball. They want to try to convert it here. And they are going to hand it off over to Rocco Conti, and he is stuffed there, and the Hornets will get the ball after a punt here, 1st and 10. And that's going to be a run by Jamar Curtis, and that's going to set up 2nd and inches for the Hornets here. Shotgun formation for the Hornets. That's what they're going to be running throughout the spread offense. And they are going to hand it off over to the second running back, Sincere Rainey, and that's going to be a first down for the Hornets here. 3 plays later, 3rd and 7 for the Hornets here. The snap is taken. Conklin taking the few dropbacks here. That's going to be an incomplete pass, and the Hornets will be forced to punt. We have Second and 6 now. A couple of plays starting off here. And there's going to be a run by 14-yard rush by Rocco Conte there for a first down for the Falcons. 2 plays later on second and 10. There's going to be a pass. That's going to be a fumble. And it's going to be recovered by the Sacramento State Hornets. And Adam Taylor will recover the fumble. And it looked like it was going to be a quarterback keeper by Liam Zarka. As we see the crowd happy right now at Hornet Stadium or Sacramento State Stadium. And Xavier Williams has his hand on that fumble. He had 2 sacks, and now he has a forced fumble. And the Hornets will take over again. As we start off at a 2nd and 11 now on this drive. And they're going to hand it off over to Jamar Curtis. And Curtis is going to go 10 yards. And that's going to be a first down. Or no, that'll be 3rd and 1 now. As we have shotgun formation looking to try to convert this 3rd down. And that's going to taken in. That pass is going to be handed over to Landry Burrell for 2 yards. And that will do it for the end of the first quarter here. The Hornets looking good right now. They're leading it 3-0. They're looking to try to add more here. We see 46 passing yards, 25 rushing yards for the Hornets, and only 7 passing yards to 50 rushing yards for Air Force here. We'll be back to start the second quarter right after this. Start the second quarter here in Sacramento, 3-0 Hornets. As you can see, Jamar Curtis, he's going to get an 11-yard run there inside the red zone now. 1st and 10, very next play for the Hornets. Shotgun formation, as is customary in the spread offense. Carson Conklin, his pass will be completed to Jordan Williams. He's going to get 6 yards there. Sets up 2nd and 4, the very next play. 2nd and 4 on the inside the 10, I believe, and they're going to hand it over to Bryant Collins, and Collins is going to get for a 9-yard run, 1st and goal on the 1. As we see here, 1st and goal on that play, there's going to be a motion. That's going to be over to Matthew Coleman, and Coleman's going to be stopped for a gain of 0. 2nd and 10 now on the very next play. The handoff, that's going to be a 1-yard loss by Bryant Collins, but the drive will stall here as we'll have Josiah Stovall go for a field goal. It's going to be blocked. That field goal is blocked. I believe the Hornets will recover, but it doesn't really matter anyways. The Air Force Falcons, they're going to take over on their own 5-yard line after the blocked field goal there. They avoid points altogether, and for Sacramento State, very disappointing here. As we have a first down right now on their own 5-yard line for Air Force on their first play of the next drive. Liam Zarka, he's going to run, and he's going to get 11 yards there, and he's going to get to the 16 of Air Force. Very next play for the Air Force Falcons here as they're trying to move the clock here on the first down play. You see a motion there, and that's going to be handed off over to Owen Allen, and Allen's going to get 12 yards on that run. Sets up another first down on the 28-yard line. You see the Falcons moving on back-to-back plays. A pitch over to Derek Palmer. Palmer's going to find some room. He's going to cross midfield, being down on the Hornets' 48-yard line. Another fresh set of downs there. 1st and 10 on the 48 for the Hornets on the next play. They're going to hand it back over to Owen Allen, and Allen's going to get 12 yards himself. Sets up a first down on the Sacramento State 35-yard line. Very next play on the first down. You see the motion there, and now the pitch over to Derek Palmer, and he's going to get 4 yards there. 2 plays later, 3rd and 9 now. The Hornet Air Force looking to try to keep the drive going. They're going to pitch it over to Rocco Conte, and Conte's going to be stopped for a 2-yard loss, and it's going to be Hornets ball here. First play on their next drive for the Hornets, and Carson Conklin's going to be sacked for a 2-yard loss here. 2nd and 10 now for the Hornets. They're going to hand it off over to Jamar Curtis. He'll lose a yard there on that second down run as you see an injured Air Force Falcon player there. 3rd and 13. Can the Hornets try to get off, keep their drive going here? Conklin, that pass is going to be incomplete, and they're going to be forced to punt. We're going to fast forward it now to a 3rd and 7. Air Force trying to keep the drive alive here, and that's going to be completed over to, I think it's Jonathan Thierry, but you see a illegal touching call be called against Thierry. It's going to be a 3-and-out for the Falcon offense, and we got 3-and-out punt, I believe, as we see another 3rd down situation as we fast forward on that drive. That's going to be a 3-and-out for the Hornets. The 3-and-out punts continue, or tennis, I should say, continues here. Next drive, you see Liam Zarka, the quarterback keeper. He's going to go for 6 yards on that first down run. 2nd and 4 now for the Falcons. As you see a little bit of motion there, but it's still going to be a quarterback keeper. Zarka is going to keep it again. He's going to get 6 yards. That's going to be a fresh set of downs for the Falcons inside Hornets territory here. 1st and 10 now on the very next play. They're going to hand it off over to Owen Allen, and Allen's going to go for 10 yards. That's going to be another fresh set of downs. However, 3 plays later on 3rd and 7, Liam Zarka, he's going to pass it, and that's going to be incomplete. And the Falcons force the punt here. 1st and 10 for the Hornets as they take over. As you see, Bryant Collins is going to get 10 yards there. That's going to be a fresh set of downs. 2 plays later on 2nd and 10 for the Hornets on their own 18-yard line. We see a little bit of motion taking place. However, Conklin, he's got plenty of time, and he's just going to run, and he's going to get 7 yards there on that quarterback keeper. 3rd and 7 now. Was it 3rd and 3 now? Carson Conklin, he's going to find Matthew Coleman for 11 yards. That's a fresh set of downs for the Hornets here. Timeout called. Still 3-0 Sacramento State. They're looking for a play here. 2 plays later on 1st, 2nd and 8, 2nd and 10, and there's going to be a 7-yard rush by. Oh no, wait a minute. That's a 6-yard completion there. 3rd and 2 now for the. We're on 3rd and 2 now here. As you see, Conklin. He's going to throw. He's going to get the pass off, and that is going to be intercepted by Roger Jones Jr., and the Hornets will turn it over right before the end of the first half here as we are going to head to the halftime report. It's still 3-0 Sacramento State right now, and let me tell you, the Hornets had points taken off the board by a blocked punt. As we look at some of the games around the country here, Baylor leading Auburn 31-17. We see Langau over 200 yards passing in the game. Chaz Nimrod on the other side for the Auburn Tigers. He's having a good game. We see Liberty defeating James Madison. UAB leading Illinois 17-14 before halftime, and we have Colorado defeating Georgia Tech 38-15, as you saw on that scoreboard here. As we look at some of the highlights here, as I said, points taken off the board. You had a blocked punt, and then you also threw an interception late in the first half. The Hornets need to get going if they want to try to find a way to go to 2-0 on the season here. As we look at the stats here, 75 passing yards, 56 rushing yards for the Hornets. You only have 14 passing yards, but that's typical for an option offense, but 137 yards of rushing. Fast forward now to the 3rd quarter here as we have 2nd and 13 for Air Force on their own 18-yard line here. As you see the motion there for Derek Palmer, there's a pitch. He's going to get across the 30. He's crossing the 40. He's crossing midfield. He has room, and you can forget about it. He is gone like a girl in the country song, and Air Force is going to take the lead on an 82-yard run by Derek Palmer for a touchdown. And just like that, the Falcons start the second half with a bang, and they now have the lead. And we're looking at it there again. Look at the replay here, and he was off to the races. As you see, he got that block around the 40, and he knew he was gone. So just like that in one play, or it took technically 2 plays in the second half, but Air Force now has the lead here. Sacramento State now, we fast forward, it's a 3rd down. As you see, Carson Conklin, and he's not going to be able to get out of the way. He's sacked for a 3rd time. That's going to be a 3-and-out against the Hornets here. So it's Falcon ball again as they're going to, on 1st down, they're going to pitch it over to Rocco Conti. He's going to get 3 yards on that run. 2nd down now. 2nd and 17. They're still in their own territory, but deep in their own territory. There's a handoff to Rocco Conti. He's going to lose 2 yards there. 3rd down, we got Liam Zarka. His pass over to Derek Palmer for 2 yards, but that's going to be 3-and-out. Hornets with the ball again, 1st and 10 on their own 20, and there's going to be a 13-yard run. You see, Curtis for 13 yards there. Very next play on 1st and 10. They're now on their own 33-yard line. There's a handoff, and he's tackled, but flag on the play. That was Curtis that gets the run. Flag on the play, and that's because there's a face mask. So you got to tack on another 15 yards there. Face mask against Loica Rawls Jr. here. So now it is 1st and 10 near midfield. As we see Carson Conklin, he'll pass it over to Jason Moses for 16 yards for a first down. 2 plays later, 2nd and 9 in the Air Force territory here. As we see Conklin taking a snap here, he'll throw it over to Jason Moses for 8 yards, and that's going to be another fresh set of downs here. First and goal, actually, on the first and 10 on the 26-yard line now. There's a run by Curtis, and Jamar Curtis is going to get 13 yards on that run there. 2 plays later on 2nd and 7. There's a run over to Brian Collins, and Collins is going to get to the 3-yard line. That sets up first and goal. Very next play for the Hornets here. First and goal. They're going to hand it back over to Collins again, and he's going to get into the end zone for a Hornets touchdown. And just like that, the Hornets retake the lead, much to the dismay of the Air Force supporters there. If you saw that, there's kind of a little bit of an oxymoron for those Air Force fans there with beards, unless they're not students. And now we have the very next drive here as we fast forward actually to 3rd and 8. Zarka is gonna go for a 1-yard loss there on a run, and they're gonna be 3 and out here. Next possession for the Hornets as we see Jamar Curtis, 12 yards, sets up a fresh set of downs. The very next play, there's a pass over to Kyle Kuntz, and Kuntz is gonna go 14 yards on that receiving yards. That's gonna be another first down. 2 plays later on 2nd and 9 inside Air Force territory. Conklin's going to take the pass. He's going to find Brian Collins, but he's going to lose 7 yards on that one. And now the very next play on 3rd and 16, Collins will take the handoff, and he's going to be just a yard short after a 15-yard run, but they decided to go for it on 4th down, and Jamar Curtis is going to be stopped, and the Air Force Falcons will take over on downs here as we're at the end of the 3rd quarter here. It's 10-7 Sacramento State. Get those 4s up. We look at it here, 226 yards for the Sacramento State Hornets to 237 for the Air Force Falcons. We're going to get ready to start the 3rd quarter after this. Fast forward now to the start of the 4th quarter. We are actually going to fast forward to a 3rd and 9 now for the Air Force Falcons here. They're going to hand it off over to Derek Palmer, and Palmer's going to get 6 yards there. Sets up 4th down, but they're going to go for it on 4th down for the Falcons on 4th and 2. Can they convert? As we see Zarka, he's going to run for it. He's going to get the first down. 15 yards. They're inside Hornets territory. However, 3 plays later, it's 3rd and 15 now for the Falcons. And Zarka, he's only going to get 1 yard on the quarterback keeper, and the Falcons are going to be forced to punt the ball. And now we fast forward on this drive to 3rd and 9, trying to avoid a 3 and out for the Hornets here. Conklin in shotgun formation. He'll take the snap. He'll get the throw off, and that's going to be incomplete. And the Hornets will be forced to punt. Ensuing Falcons drive, we see Liam Zarka, and he's going to find the dirt. I did not think that the Hornet defense would get a sack, especially with the option offense that the Air Force runs, but who else? It is Xavier Williams that will have the sack. That will be his first sack of the game as we take a look at the replay here. He already has a forced fumble. Now he has a sack in this game. He now has 3 sacks on this young season here. 2 plays later, 3rd and 20. As we see, there's a handoff over to Chris Pickett for the Air Force, and he's only going to get 8 yards there, and that's going to be well short of the first down. We fast forward on the next drive to another 3rd down for the Hornets here. Carson Conklin. He's going to put the pass. That's going to be incomplete, intended for Jamar Curtis, and now they're going to be forced to punt again. 3 and out for the Hornets here. Ensuing drive. 1st and 10 on their own 26. And that's going to be a run by Rocco Conti here. Sets up 2nd and 6 on their own 30. As we see here on the triple option. And once again, Zarka is going to get a big run. He's going to cross midfield. He's going to get down around the Sacramento State 38-yard line after a 32-yard run. Very next play on 1st and 10 for the Falcons. And once again, it's going to be Zarka. He's going to get the first down again. He's going to go for 21, and that's going to be inside the red zone. 2 plays later, 2nd and 8 on their 15-yard line of the Hornets here. We got Liam Zarka. He's going to run it again for 6 yards. Sets up 3rd and 2 inside the 10. Let's see, Zarka. What's he going to do this time? He's going to run it again, and then he's going to find the end zone for a Falcons touchdown. And just like that, the Falcons will lead late in this game. Air Force taking the lead on a 9-yard rush by Liam Zarka. And for Sacramento State, I mean, it's been deflating. The defense has played pretty well against this option team. I mean, they gave up big plays, but they were bend but don't break. But now the offense has to do something here. As we start off, they're on their own 22 right now. Conklin will take the snap. He'll get the throw off, and pass is going to be completed over to Jordan Williams, and Williams going to get inside Air Force territory after a 32-yard catch and run. First down, Hornets. Do they have a comeback in them? Here we go. 2 plays later on 2nd and 10, and they're going to hand it off to Bryant Collins for 5 yards. 3rd and 5 now. Inside Air Force territory on their own. Air Force 31. You see Conklin taking a snap. He's going to throw, and he's going to find Landry Burrell for 19 yards. First down. They're near the 20. First, as we have a 3rd down now. 3 plays later on 3rd down, we have Conklin. He's going to take a sack. And that's not what is needed here, as we now have 4th down here. Conklin. Back to throw. He'll take the snap, and he will find Landry Burrell for 24 yards, and that's going to be first down. First and goal, I should say. Now, 2 plays later, we see Conklin. He's going to take a sack for 3 yards. He cannot do that, as we have a timeout called. 3rd and goal now for the Hornets inside the Falcon 5. We see Conklin. He's going to run it. He cannot. I don't know what he's doing. They have to hurry up here. Now it's 4th and goal. Conklin will get the snap off. He'll get the throw off, and it's going to be dropped by Burrell, and that's going to do it. And the Falcons are going to walk away with a 14-10 victory. And for Sacramento State, they will fall to 1-1 on the season, as Derek Palmer's actually going to get player of the game. 116 rushing yards on 4 carries. He did have that 82-yard touchdown run, but we see the replay here, and that is Liam Zarka with the game-winning turned out to be the game-winning touchdown here. As we look at some stats here, I think that was the final drive, but it fell just short. Burrell with a not good drop there, and it is Air Force that's going to walk out of Sacramento with a 14-10 win. That's now. We got Carson Conklin, who went 19 of 36. Very terrible, 19 of 36. Only 52% passing, 188 yards. He had 1 interception, no touchdowns throwing. Jamar Curtis with 78 yards on 19 carries, followed by Bryant Collins with 59 yards on 9 attempts. He had the only touchdown of the game. Carson Conklin sacked 5 times. He had 9 attempts for negative 25 yards. And we have Sincere Rainey with 4 yards on 4 carries. Receiving wise, we have Jordan Williams with 6 catches for 68 yards. Jason Moses, 4 catches for 50 yards. Landry Burrell, 3 catches, 45 yards. Matthew Coleman, only 2 catches for 11 yards. Jace Wilson, 1 catch for 4 yards. Kyle Kuntz, 1 catch for 14 yards. Sincere Rainey for 1 catch for 3 yards. Bryant Collins had negative 7 yards on 1 catch. Now we get the right pancake and sack ratio, as you see. Hayden Frazier had 11 pancakes, but he allowed 1 sack. Hector had 9 pancakes, 1 sack. Same with Sofuya, same similar stats. Summers, the only one who did not have 5 pancakes, no sacks. Jeremiah Stallworth with 1 sack allowed. Same with Kendrick Thompson. Kuntz, actually the tight end, had 2 pancakes, as well as Jordan Williams. And then we had Jackson Moore and Jason Moses with a pancake. Defensive-wise, let's see. We have Catherine and Silvera with 10 tackles each individually, with Catherine having 2 individual tackles. Let's see. Clem had 3 tackles for loss. Xavier Williams had a tackle for loss. He had a half a sack, as well as Zay Adams. Nobody got any interceptions here. Forced fumbles, as I said, we had Xavier Williams, and then we had Adam Taylor getting the fumble recovery there. Kicking wise, let's see, Stovall went 1 for 1 on extra points, but he went 0 for, let's look over here now. Stovall went 1 for 2 on field goal kicking. He did have one blocked in that first half, and he did hit his only extra point. Punting wise, we had White, kind of a drag. 6 punts for 348 yards. Net yards at 282. One touchback, none of them inside the 20. And now we're going to go look at the recruiting here, as we got a little bit of a different stuff going on right now as far as recruiting. Alan Brink has moved us up to number 4 on this list, the 2-star quarterback from Hayward, California. We like to try to get some of these players from like the Northern California, Bay Area, Sacramento area. We got Marvin Poindexter, who moved us up to number 1. So we actually lowered some of the recruiting points so we can give some more points. So we can give some points to other prospects that have not received any just yet. And then we got Jason Costello, the new player on this board right now. He is replacing Al Grant, who locked us up. So that is our replacement for the quarterback. Then we got Soma Anatolu, who moves us into number 2 on his list for fullback. We're the only one in the top 10 that is offered so far. Tony James for the left tackle here. He is a 1-star left tackle. He's from San Luis Obispo. He is new to the list, as well as Gordon Pope locked us out. Steven Aurora moves us into his top 5. We're top 5. However, we still got a lot of competition, as we have Fresno State, our next opponent, UNLV, and San Jose State has offered him. Stanford, the only team that's ahead of us that has not offered yet. Keegan Dugans, he moves us into number 9 on this list here. As from the 3-star right guard from Albany, California. And then we got Timothy Cone, still in the top 10. Only San Jose State and us have offered so far. Kona Cushenberry has now moved us up to number 3 on this list, with Tulane and Stanford 2 schools ahead of us. Those are the only ones that have offered so far. Then we got John Paredes, still has us in this top 10. Same with Santiago Madrano. Actually, no, Santiago Madrano has moved us into number 1. The 1-star left edge from Reno, Nevada. Then we got Demetrius Semple, moves us into his number 1 spot as well. The 1-star left edge from Jefferson City, Missouri. Eric Lockett already had us at number 1, but we're still number 1 with him on his list right now. Then we have right edge Mateo Sacedo, still in his top 10. Washington, who's number 3 on this list, is the only other team that has offered so far. Eric Bello, who is actually new on this list, he replaces Tobias Shabazz at right edge after he locked us out. We're number 1 already initially, so we gave him some points and some NIL as well, even though he's not expecting any. And we got Dom Edmond. We're still in the top 10. Nothing has moved yet. We're the only ones in the top 10 that has offered. Raheem Payne has moved us into number 2 on his list. We're still behind the University of Nevada right now, but we're the only one in the top 5 that has even offered him. And then we have a new name to add, John Eddy, or Edie, however you would say that. We have Cam Adai locked us out at the will position, so now John Edie, we were already number 2 on this list, so it's like it was easy for us to offer and give him some NIL, maybe try to move him up as well. Then we got Doug Sneed. Nothing has changed there, as well as Josh Corner. But we have a lot more schools that have offered as far as that is concerned for the top 5. And then you see in the bottom 4, the projected cutoff, 4 schools right above us have also been offered scholarships, have offered corner scholarships. So we could see a change there at the SAM by next video here. Paris Valentine, a 2-star recruit. Only Oregon State has offered besides us in the top 10. Followed by D'Angelo Pitts. Nothing has changed there. We are the only one that's offered in the top 10. Same with Lester Bartow. And then we have Carl Muhammad, who has moved into the recruiting board. DJ Milner decided to lock us out in the Mike position here. The 1-star, we're in the middle of trying to get the 1-star recruit Mike from Illinois. Then we have James Sledge, who moves us into number 2 right now, and I believe it is San Diego State and Fresno State that has San Diego State has offered, the only team ahead that has offered. Then we got Femi Oche, who's moved us into his top position here, his top spot here. We're number 1. Then we got Christian Jowers, we're number 1 on his list, and then Pierre Shabazz with UNLV and Fresno State, the only 2 that has offered so far, is on top of us. And that is the recruiting outlook after week 1 games. In our next video, the Sacramento State Hornets will travel to Fresno, California. Only going to be about a 3-hour bus ride down California State Route 99 to take on the Fresno State Bulldogs. Fresno State, new members of the rebranded Pac-12. Rebirth of that conference has been saved. But a fun fact that these two teams would be meeting up in week 2 of the actual regular season, even if Sacramento State was in the FCS still, as that would be like their guaranteed game for money wise. But we got the Hornets and the Bulldogs. Can the Hornets get back on track and get a win in the Central Valley? Well, we'll find out in our next video. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like, comment on this video, and when you comment, also not just talk about how the game is, but also leave a prediction of how this game against Fresno State will turn out. As well as hit the subscribe button and hit the bell icon to receive notifications when these videos do come out. In the description down below will be a link to my Cash App if you are able to support me financially. And under that will also be the information to where you can follow me on social media for X and Instagram. And with that, I am Vinny from vdubproductions, and I am signing off.